Um, okay. These are opportunities from your China experience and minds with top government designated drivers. And our invited guest is Dr. Wang Yi, who is a director of Hunan Institute of China, Africa, Economic and Trade Cooperation Promotion Council. Largely it is on the background of understanding that, yes, I believe majority of us are in academia, but it's not limited to academia, because as we gather and accumulate more knowledge and skills and the wisdom that we need, there is wisdom that cries on the street. And that wisdom can be applied in very many sectors. And in that understanding, we are resourceful. At the same time, we can be sources in very many different areas that cut across our fields of academia, but also with natural knowledge and wisdom. And in that regard, we can see that many of us are in academia, but we are more business oriented, whether you're engineering, science, economics, every area is a business mind. That is what I've come to understand. And in that regard, this is for all of us. That is my understanding. It is for all of us. Wherever you are, there is a business mind in every sector of life. And the world is being run, is running on such minds. So allow me, with that said, I invite the president, Dr. Elijah Odi, who is the president of OAAD. Mr. President, I see you, and I believe you're in position. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share a few words in this very important conference, which has come up today. And I'm excited that a good number of our people are jumping in. And these are not just people jumping in to listen, but these are people of action and people whose minds have been charged, people who have understood the realities on ground. I'm actually not at my office now or in a place where I should usually be. So, but I just kind of hung around somewhere to be able to make this opening remarks, and we'll proceed with the conversation. Of course, I'm going to be enjoying with us. And I want to congratulate everyone who has come in this, whatever the time where you are joining from is, because we have talked to entrepreneurs and people in various fields who have got various capacities in different areas. And having come in with intentionality, people have not just come, as I mentioned before, to watch, but have come with an intention, very clear intention, to look out for possible points of plug-in, possible points of engagement, with a big understanding of the opportunities that are available in China and in surrounding countries, and also available in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. Very important people who have come from different parts of the world to enjoy this conversation today. I want to welcome you, and I want to tell you that you are going to, you are in a position right now to engage with the top agency that has been charged with this responsibility, particularly for Africa. You know, it's a different kind of thing when you go to a system where you are trying to see how to put yourself in or how to plug yourself in. But indeed, this has been designed for Africa and for China. And for those who are aware or who understand what's going on in different areas within China and beyond, you know the extent to which the government of China is committed to working with Africa And of course, governments around the world, not just government of China, but if you have been observing the global geopolitics and what's going on, you will understand that indeed Africa has got a position, and the world is gradually understanding the position that Africa holds, both now and in the near future. And when a person has got something but is not aware that he or she has it, that person may be unable to utilize it fully. So one of the things we want to emphasize is that everyone who has come to this meeting today, listen with an intention, with an understanding of your position, an understanding of who you are, what you represent. You represent over 1 billion people. And according to the United Nations, in the next few years, by 2050, half of global population growth will be taking place in Africa. This world is run by human beings. And one of the things that makes China a very important country is actually the population that China holds. China is a very important market. China is a very important source of many things, because human beings run this world. So I want to encourage you to pay attention to what's going to be said. And for members of OAD and other colleagues who have come to join us, remember what we've always said. We are responsible for guiding and developing the pathway, the course of Africa's development into the next years that our children are going to be able to ride on. And this is going to be coming in a different direction that's different from what it has been previously. Because over time, Africa has always been at the receiving end, which is why, as we've observed, it seems that many countries, many regions of the world are coming, trying to approach Africa like a beautiful bride that's got many suitors. And we just need to, every bride must be able to understand her place, to be able to utilize the resources adequately. And if there are any challenges you encounter in the process of your efforts, our partners here at the CAETP and other partners we have with other top agencies in China, outside of China, we are going to engage them to support, to ensure that you are able to break all barriers that stop your innovative ideas and processes. Whatever area, we'll keep working together. Remember that our strength is in our togetherness. And in the next few years, as we've said again and again, we're targeting to have at least 200,000 members. Remember what that means is that if you're going to run a business that requires $1 million, if we are all convinced that this business is what should be run, that implies that if you are looking for investment, we could all just put together $5 each, and the $1 million will be available for you to begin the business, and everybody gets something in terms of what they have been able to put in. We have promised again and again that whatever we're doing in OAD, the process of credit allocation, or the process of responsibility allocation, will always be transparent, such that nobody feels that you have been given less than what you have been able to put in. So whatever you put in, whatever extent of efforts you are willing to put in, whatever sacrifice you are willing to make, it is going to be in tandem with that whatever benefits will come to you will come. And we'll keep working together. There is no possibility of we not breaking a lot of bounds that already exist at this moment, because we have all the expertise required to get this done, and we have the commitment of our people. And gradually, as we've mentioned again and again, in the years ahead, we're going to have some of our members who will be presidents in their countries. At the moment, as we speak, some already are top government, are managing top government departments and are responsible for these things in various areas. And we're working with them to see what we can do to drive things. In the area of university intercollaboration, we are driving the process of helping universities in Africa, helping universities in China to drive their progresses and the various things. So we are a one-stop shop for everything that has to do with Africa. And anybody, again, I emphasize, nobody who hangs around with us will struggle with finances. We're going to have financial stability for everyone, and that's going to be, flowing into the far future. So thank you so much once again for being part of today's conversation. Try again and again. Anytime you see OAAD event, we don't bring any empty content. We bring beautiful things. Encourage others who don't know yet what is happening to prepare themselves and engage in these conversations, because every time we have these conversations, we are looking forward to being able to build trust amongst one another. The more trust we're able to build amongst one another, the easier it's going to be for us to run businesses together. Investments are coming, and it's those we know that we're going to work with. Being here means that you have an opportunity for me to offend you. I have an opportunity to be offended by you. You make me angry. In that way, you find what I don't like. I find what you don't like. Over time, we build closer, knit, closer, and closer. In that way, we can do investments together in different fields because we have the experts, and we will keep enjoying the things as the years unfold. I want to say a special thank you again to our brother Wang Yi, who has come to be with us today and to share his thoughts with us and to open our eyes to the opportunities that are available. We're looking forward to the conversation. And many thanks to the Executive Council of the Organization of African Academic Doctors. Many thanks to the resident think tank of the OAD Global. And we're looking forward to beautiful things that will be unfolding. This is our second quarter family meeting. And in the families, we discuss problems, we discuss opportunities, and we explore them together and get the best out of them. Respect to everyone. Over to you, moderator.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I thank God for you. And thank you for the challenging words. They are worth to contemplate on in a wider perspective. But thank you very much. We are so blessed to have you in our generation. And next on the agenda, for those who have just joined us, you are so much welcome from wherever you are joining us. You are welcome, and it's an honor. We are moving on to the next on our agenda, which is the keynote speech from our guest speaker. And before I invite him on board, allow me to read a little bit of his biography. Our guest speaker is Dr. Wang Yi, and is the director of Hunan Institute of China, Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation Promotion Council. He is engaged in research and exchange of economic and trade. Can I be heard by everybody? I can see someone saying louder.
Yes, clearly, can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, he's engaged in research and exchange of economic and trade cooperation with Africa for many years. And his main research fields are China, Africa bilateral cultural promotion, African tourism development research, and China, Africa bilateral economic and trade promotion research. He has worked in Sudan, Egypt, and Indonesia for many years. And ladies and gentlemen, with that well said, allow me and join me to welcome Dr. Wang Yi. Dr. Wang Yi, are you with us here? Dr. Wang Yi, are you with us here, please? Can someone help me confirm with our guest speaker? He was just here with us.
Yeah, he has been here all the while.
Yeah.
Let's confirm.
Yeah, let me contact him.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, someone says it just dropped off. Okay. Meanwhile, as we wait for him, before some of us joined, we were requesting that you type in the chat box where you are joining the meeting from. Yeah, if you're in China, your city. If you're outside China, your country or city. Your country and city if you're outside China. We just want to know where you are joining the webinar from.
Hello? Sorry, out of line.
Yeah, he's back. Right.
Sorry, out of line. Okay.
Okay.
It's well. Dr. Ongi, are you ready now? Is the connection okay?
Yeah, I'm ready. Can I share my screen? Because
Yes,
I prepared
please.
the presentation. PowerPoint.
I think you have been made a host.
Yeah, but
Yes,
okay,
now we can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We can see your PPT.
Yeah.
Is it possible to make it full?
Yeah, but I can't put another page.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. Can you see the second page?
no, only the first one.
Okay, the first one. Okay, I'll share again.
Okay.
Okay, the second page can see?
No, sir, only the first one.
Oh, what's wrong with it? Okay, now
it's
okay?
now moving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Over
everybody.
to you.
Thank you, everybody. Today, my share topic is opportunities for China and Africa economic and trade cooperation. Just now, the hoster have introduced me, and now I don't waste others' time, and let's go to our today's share content. Today, I want to share 10 parts. First one is understanding of China-Africa economic and trade cooperation. Secondly, is achievement and experience of Hunan in promoting the construction of pilot zones. Because now I work in Hunan. Hunan is a province in the center of China, and a lot of national platforms has settled in Hunan. So a lot of Africa businessmen come to Hunan and do business with us. So I want to introduce Hunan. And thirdly, we have an overview of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Promotion Council. This is my council. First, I want to show the Hunan in brief. For 5 parts is China, Africa in depth economic and trade cooperation parallel zone. Sixthly is introduction of the third China, Africa economic and trade expo. 7 is the collaboration opportunities between Africa and the China. The 9th is the 8th is priorities for the future cooperation with Africa. 9th is the center's incubator. The 10th is if you want to open your companies in Hunan, here give you some ideas. Okay. Firstly, I want to talk about the China-Africa understanding of China-Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation. The economic and trade cooperation between China and Africa started in the 1950s. Although China and Africa have different levels of development, the economic and trade cooperation has grown from small to large, which fully demonstrates the complementary of the development process between China and Africa. In particular, since the establishment of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in 2000, China and Africa economic and trade cooperation has been characterized by gradual expansion of scale, cooperation areas, and cooperation forms. Firstly, Africa is of great strategic significance to China development. Africa plays an important role in geopolitical diplomacy, and the China-Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation is a cornerstone of the geopolitical diplomacy. Africa is becoming a powerful geopolitical level for China, and the most important region for China to demonstrate its international moral obligations, an irreplaceable partner for China's future sustainable economic development, and the most important supporter for China to safeguard its own interests and advocate international justice. Secondly, there is a vast potential and space for China-Africa economic and trade cooperation. According to the characteristics of China-Africa bilateral development and the actual needs of development, China is a blue sea oasis with huge potential that needs to be developed urgently. Africa's development is outstanding in terms of the resource, endowment, and development trade, and the processing plant of the future world will be located in Africa. The supply side is complementary and the demand side is circulated. Both sides also have a huge space for development, and the market circulated with great potential. Thirdly, I want to introduce Hunan. Hunan's economic and trade cooperation with Africa enjoys strong momentum. Hunan's provincial government strongly promotes the implementation of various national measures in Hunan based on the actual situation of Hunan. Some national measures have been settled in Hunan, such as the China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo, the Parallel Zone, in-depth economic and trade cooperation between China and Africa, the China-Hunan Parallel Free Trade Zone, the China-Africa Cross-Border RMB Center, the China-Africa Barter Trade, the Africa-China Technical Trade Measures Research and Evaluation Base. Hunan has a stand at the peak of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation Strategy. In 2022, Hunan's import and export to Africa reached the 55.66 billion yuan, an increase of 42.5%. Hunan has become one of the most active provinces in economic and trade cooperation with Africa. Second part, I want to show you achievement and the experience of Hunan in promoting the construction of the parallel zones. Firstly, Hunan created a new window for subnational cooperation with Africa. The two China-Africa economic and trade exports promote the alignment of the Chinese and Africa enterprises. We will explore new paths and models of China-Africa economic and trade cooperation and build experimental fields and demonstration zones for implementing the initiative of the China-Africa Forum. with a focus on the Africa Center for the distribution and trading of non-resource products, the China-Africa Cross-Bound RMB Center, and the Century Western Regions Logistics Center to Africa. Secondly, we built a new platform for business distribution. The Africa Brown Warehouse project is a launch date to expand the import of high quality Africa products, cultivate the whole industrial chain for the domestic market, covering the procurement, warehousing, logistics, processing, display, and scales, and the supply chain finance, and hold events such as Africa Products live streaming e-commerce festival and the Africa Good Goods online shopping festival. Thirdly, we expand a new international logistics channels. We promote the construction of a multi-modal transport system, such as Hunan Guangdong Africa Railway and the Sea Combat Transport, Hunan Shanghai Africa Combined Transport, and the Hunan Africa Air Freight Transport, and improve the efficiency of the logistics channel to Africa. The third part is an overview of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Promotion Council. Our council, named is CATP, is a non-profit social organization composed of the Hunan-based enterprises, public institutions, social organizations. It's directed by the Department of the Commerce of Hunan Province and supported by the provincial financial funds. Next, I will talk about our strategy positioning. We have 4 parts. First one is a high-end think tank for China-Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation. Second is an open resource integration platform. And we also a comprehensive professional service institution. And the last one is a market-oriented operation promotion center. Yeah. And our core tasks also have 3 parts. First one is to be a good assistant to the standing body of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo. And secondly is to provide business promotion and professional service support for the China-Africa Economic and Trade in-depth cooperation parallel zone. And thirdly, we explore innovative models for the economic and trade cooperation between China province and Africa. And we also provide a comprehensive service system for the China-Africa economic trade. At present, CATP keeps building a market-oriented comprehensive service system for the China-Africa economic and trade. Hunan has a great space and potential to cooperate with Africa in advanced equipment, manufacturing, and agriculture machinery. CATP's Comprehensive Service Center for the China-Africa Economic Trade provide 2 kinds of service: business promotion and professional service. In particular, the Business Promotion Center includes the Consulting Service Center, the Foreign Trade Service Center, and the Innovation Promotion Center. And the Professional Service Center includes the Talent Training Center, the China-Africa Exchange Center, the Exhibition and the Display Center, and the Legal Service Center, and the Financial and the Tax Review Center, the Language Service Center, and the Security Service Center. We call them 10 centers. In the past 2 years, because we just founded more than just 2 years, more than 1,000 government enterprises and businessmen have visited our institution. We have also hosted the China-Africa Youth Innovation and Entrepreneurship Forum in the second China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo, and the Hunan Supply and Demand Matchmaking meeting of the Simandou Projector Engineer, and the Fishery and Aquatic Product Promotion Matchmaking meeting between China and the Puji-speaking countries in Africa. In the February of this year, our institution held a joint meeting of business chambers of Asia, Europe, and Africa to jointly promote economic and trade cooperation with Africa, with the purpose of giving full play to the power of business association of the Asia, Europe, and Africa to jointly promote economic and trade cooperation between China and Africa. We also hope that in the future, more and more Africa enterprises will join the Hunan's economic and trade works with Africa. At present, we have 149 memberships, just like Hunan Construction and Investment Group Company, Yueyang Guansheng Investment Development Company, and Hunan Gaoqiao Ground Market. Now I want to show the NIPE project initiative. The NIPE project initiative proposed by President Xi Jinping to the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in 2021 in Senegal, Dakar, has pointed out a direction of for the next stage of the China-Africa Cooperation. In this connection, CATP aims to propel Hunan-based enterprises clusters into Africa markets. At the same time, we also hope that more and more Hunan enterprises can cooperate with Africa enterprises and carry out more practical cooperation in supply chain finance, financing guarantee, and other fields. Just now, I talk about Hunan. I want to talk about Hunan in brief. Hunan's total population ranks the 7th in China, and its economic ranks 9th in China, and its land areas ranks 10th in China. For the 5 consecutive years, the average annual growth rate of foreign trade in Hunan ranks the first among the Central province. There are 188 World Top 500 enterprises invested in Hunan. There are more than 1,700 Hunan enterprises in the world, covering 227 countries and regions around the world. In this picture, you can see the yellow card is Hunan province. It's in the south of the China. As a key province in economic and trade cooperation with Africa, Hunan has become the permanent host of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo. The 5th part, I want to talk about the China-Africa in-depth economic and trade cooperation parallel zone. China-Africa in-depth economic and trade cooperation parallel zone focus on the exploring new paths and mechanism for the China-Africa economic cooperation, trade exchange, furthering the one mechanism, one parallel program, and 6 centers. The one mechanism refers to the established ministerial and provincial level joint conference mechanism of the parallel zone, led by the Ministry of Commerce and participated by the relevant ministries and commissions of China and the Hunan province. Secondly is a one parallel program, refers to the new barter trade parallel program. And the six major centers are Africa non-resource products distribution and the trading center, China-Africa cross-border e-commerce cooperation center, China-Africa industrial chain cultivation center, the China-Africa cross-border RMB center, Central and the Western region logistics centers, and China-Africa Economic and Trade Research and Exchange Center. The sixth part I want to introduce of the third China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo, because in the past 5 years we hold the first and the second China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo in this year. Maybe in June to July, we will hold the third China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo. The Ministry of Commerce of the People's Republic of China and the People's Government of Hunan Province plan to hold the third Africa Economic and Trade Expo in Changsha, Hunan. Changsha is the capital city of the Hunan Province. From June 29 to July 2nd, 2023. The main exhibition hall covers 91,000 meters square with 6 indoor and 1 outdoor exhibition zones with an exhibition areas about 80,000 meters square. 18 participants, more than 1,000 exhibitors, and more than 8,000 bears will attend the expo. The main exhibition areas comprised the comprehensive exhibition hall, the Africa Enterprises and the Comedy Hall, and the Chinese Enterprises Comedy Hall, and the Chinese Province Autonomous Region and Municipalities Hall, and the Domestic and Foreign Trade Integration Hall, and the outdoor exhibition areas. Meanwhile, a sub-pavilion will be set up in the promotion and the innovation demonstration park of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Corporation. In the seventh part, I want to talk about the collaboration of opportunities with Africa countries. First of all, on the behalf of the China-Africa Economic and Trade Promotion Council, we cherish the economic and trade cooperation between China and Africa and their confidence in expanding their business in the Chinese market. We will cherish the opportunities like our own eyes, and ensure a steady flow of Africa products into China, while continually introducing more suitable Chinese products to Africa. About the opportunities, firstly, I want to talk about we should establish a bilateral parallel think tank cooperation mode, because CETP is our positioning is want to build a high level think tank in Hunan, even though in China. Africa enjoys a great development space and potential, and the China-Africa economic and trade cooperation furthering strong complementary. However, there are still many ideas, issues, and difficulties that need to be studied and overcome. The Chinese government attaches great importance to this, and the Chancellor's Office of the State Council, which is the first think tank of the Chinese central government, has been organizing relevant research institutions to conduct systematic research since last year. The concept of the piloting think tank cooperation promoting in-depth economic and trade cooperation was proposed. And practical research has been conducted systematically on the problems that exist in China-Africa economic and trade cooperation. The Chancellor's office has also proposed practical solutions and measures to solve this problem. China has made substantive progress. The strategy layout ideas have been formed. Secondly, we want to establish a cooperative model where to warehouse trade facilitation. We will provide advice and suggestions to the central and the local government, strive to achieve satisfactory solutions, and continuously expand the important scale. Meanwhile, we are also focusing on promoting the establishment of Chinese export trade house in Africa, which is will facilitate liberalized and scale up the entry of Chinese goods into the African market, meeting the demands of African consumers. We aim to jointly build cooperative models of warehouse-to-warehouse trade facilitations. And certainly, we want to establish new models of investment cooperation with Africa. Africa's development requires a lot of foreign investment support. However, in reality, Africa focused challenge such as a high debt, being a region of the medium and high risks, and lacking of US dollar. And in the past academic year, independent development in Africa will become even more difficult. Meanwhile, China has already transformed the form from a high-speed development stage to a high-quality development stage with a strong high-quality size, population capacity, and strong consumers' demand. And we coupled with the organizing ability of the Chinese government, organizing production capacity and the investment to the inter-Africa is the best choice. Fourthly, we want to establish the cooperative model of economic and trade regulatory standards. Our focus is on the institutional cooperation in rules, regulations, management standards, and etc. We strive to adapt to and align ourselves with the development trend to promote the establishment of innovative bilateral economic and trade rules and economic orders. We want to create a first-class business environment that is internationalized, legalized, market-oriented, and convenient, and engaged in cooperative efforts based on the TPP and SPS agreement under the WTO mechanism. We will jointly develop the plans and the programs for the standardization of the China-Africa economic and trade cooperation, organize various parties to jointly and participate over this. And 5, we want to establish the economic and trade operation models of barter and investment in response to the challenge of the high debate, medium and high risks, currency instability, and the lack of US dollar in Africa countries. Barter trade barter trade. Sorry. The barter trade and the investment is a strategy choice for China-Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation. The Chinese government has approved a trial of the new mode of the barter trade in the parallel zone. The parallel zone has established a trading platform for the barter trade with the Africa countries. The aim is to promote the Chinese enterprises, especially large-scale private enterprises, to invest in Africa through barter trade. The sixth, we want to establish the models of the digital economic and trade cooperation. Economic digitalization is the core of the fourth industrial revolution in the world. The industrial digitalization, digital scientization, and the market-oriented scientization are inevitable chains for the future economic development. Africa has a basis and potential for the overtaking on a band in terms of economic and trade digitalization. For this purpose, we have proposed some ideas for the digital economic and trade cooperation. We proposed the idea of using the construction of the comprehensive China-Africa digital economic and trade service platform as a link to drive the digitalization and of better enterprises and government service supervision, gradually achieving China-Africa economic and trade connections. Seventhly, we want to establish the cooperative models of agriculture industrialization. Agriculture is a key industry in Africa. In particular, it's rich in agricultural resource with a wide variety of product categories and enormous potential for the agricultural development. In the research process, we have learned from the successful experience of agricultural development in the former Soviet Union, the United States, and China. Based on the characteristics of agriculture in Africa, we have initially proposed a model of agriculture industrialization that integrates planting, financing, technology, processing, and trade to promote the process of the agriculture industrialization in Africa. The above mentioned 7 aspects has been included in the key projector of the Chancellor's Office of the State Council. CATP is a leader of organizing research and is currently organizing research and strive to promote a breakthrough in one country. Okay. We sincerely hope that relevant parties will participate in research together with us and strive to implement them, form a case and a model for piloting the in-depth economic trade cooperation between China and Africa, and contribute to the construction of China-Africa community with a shared future. The S part is priorities for the future cooperation with Africa. Foster depend capacity cooperation with key countries and development a number of economic and trade cooperation projects based on these countries' local development plans and Hunan's industrial advantages, so as to form a pool of economic and trade cooperation projects with key Africa countries. And secondly, we think we should build a contactor mechanism for the China-Africa Economic and Trade Cooperation. This includes establishing a direct contact mechanism for the cities and autonomous prefectures in Hunan to the communicate with African countries for the economic and trade cooperation and with Africa Embassy in China, as well as supporting Africa countries to set up consulates and business representative office, national business association office, and etc. In the parallel zone for the in-depth China-Africa economic and trade cooperation. And thirdly, optimize policies and service system. It means to increase and expand the support in the construction of the industrial chain, investment and trade with Africa, business headquarters to Africa. And we should the new business models and in infrastructure work. The next part, I want to talk about our CATP's incubator. China's and Africa business market space of CATP is a business incubator platform for the trade with Africa jointly created by Yuhua Block Management Committee of Changsha section of the China Hunan Free Trade Demonstration Zone and the Hunan Research Association for the promote of Africa economic and trade cooperation. And the project is located in Changsha with total areas of the 710 square meters. There are 2 shared negotiation rooms, 1 shared conference room, 5 independent office, and 85 office card, which can meet the offline office needs of 20 to 30 enterprises. And the China-Africa business makerspace of the CATP mainly carries out the business incubation with Africa, practical training and entrepreneurship for the China-Africa students, support from the Chinese and Africa Chambers of Commerce, and provide office space and full life cycle services for the enterprises. It aims to provide a professional, low-cost and open sharing platform for the entrepreneurs who dream of promoting the development of China-Africa and trade industries. And we also build a platform for the China-Africa economic trade and industry cooperation and deal making, and contribute to the China Hunan Parallel Free Trade Zone and to build a new plateau of inland reform and opening up. By the March of this year, 12 enterprises have settled in the space, include 2 foreign investment enterprises, including import and export trade, foreign trade logistic supporting, foreign trade brander completed plan, commodity training, and other tabs with more than 40 employees. And in the future, relying on the resource of integration advantages and policy advantages of the Yuhua Free Trade Zone, the administrative community space will provide policy and space service guarantee for the foreign trade enterprises to land in this zone. So we also welcome the Africa enterprises to settle it and opening your companies in our incubator. The last part, I want to talk about create your companies in Hunan. In Hunan, we have a lot of good policies, just like international commercial institution and high-end intellectual properties service institution will be giving a maximum of RMB 1 million to set down and start up, support the third-part organization to attract international commercial organization, and the maximum reward for each approved one is 200,000 yuan. So we welcome the international commerce institutions to opening your company in Hunan, to invest in Hunan. And for the foreign funded project with the actual funds of the more than 30 million US dollars, 1% of the actual funds will be awarded with a maximum of the 10 million yuan. We will provide support on a case-by-case basis to new project established by the leading company of the world's top 500 and the top 50 industry with the actual foreign investor amount of the more than 100 million US dollar for those who introduce the top 500 enterprises to settle in Hunan for the first time. The maximum reward will be RMB 3 million. Okay, thank you. This is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wang, for the detailed presentation. Thank you very much. I believe there are very many questions that now the audience has. So our next segment will be Q&A, and there is provision for a translator. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, but because my English is not very good, but firstly I hear the question, and if I can't answer in English, I should need a translator. Okay.
There is a translator. So
okay.
from.
Okay. Oh, I see the translator.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, Tabby. Just before you run into that, let's give a few minutes to Dr. Johnny Jiang to add a few comments to what the very beautiful job that has been done by our brother Wang Yi, and then you carry on with the question and answer sessions. So please, Mr. Jiang, over to you.
Thank you. I'm very happy to join this session. My name is Johnny Jiang. I've been working with our Nigerian and African friends for the last more than 10 years. And I was working in the different Fortune 500 companies for supply chain field in the last 28 years. So I can say I'm an international supply chain expert. And I'm very happy today we have Mr. Wang Yi to give us excellent speech about cooperation between China and Africa, which is similarly I have done something academically in the 5 years ago or 6 years ago. And I believe that the cooperation potentials between China and Africa are huge, more than your imagination. And that is something I would like to continue our discussion. And we are not only about academics, but also talk about some real industry cooperation, like what we already talking with our Nigerian friends on the agriculture, the industrial, pathway step by step. So I would like to congratulations for this great session today, and also like to building our cooperation with Mr. Wang Yi's help to see how we can have this Hunan as our base for the cooperation between China and Africa. And by the way, Mr. Wang did mention that Hunan, Changsha is also one of the best well-being city in China. and also have the highest level of happiness, right? So
Right.
yeah, yeah, we can also see how we can get our people happy and also have a lot of well-being. Because China has been go through the industrialization for the last 40 years, which I personally is witnessed the whole journey. So I would like to say those are very encouraging news. And we also would like to helping our African friends to do this quicker and better. So that's my comments, and thanks again for Mr. Wang's great speech. Thank you. Okay, Yusuf, that's all. Thank you. Hello.
Okay. Yes,
Okay,
thank you very much, Mr. Johnny. Thank you for the comments. They've been appreciated, and it's a privilege to have you join us today. So, Dr. Elijah, can we go to the Q&A?
Yes, please proceed. Proceed. Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. For the Q&A, when I've seen already some questions in the chat box, but also I would request that if you want to speak it out, you can just raise your hand with the icon, and then you'll be picked accordingly. It will be one by one. So we will also have provision for a translator from English to Chinese. If you can speak Chinese, then it will be translated from Chinese to English. Either way it works. And in that way we can, then we'll continue like with a clearer communication, I believe. So please, if you have a question and you want to unmute, you can go ahead. But from the chat box, one question is from Peter Kisembo. He's asking, how can students join the incubation centers? What about trainings and internships? So that is our first question.
Okay. I see the question. Where can I see the question? In the chat.
In the chat box from Peter. Okay. Or can it be translated, please, for Dr. Wang?
他的问题是，就是他是在聊天框里提问的。问题就是，学生如何加入，然后有培训，还有实习。
OK，那我就用中文来说啊，就是我们这个协会非常欢迎非洲的年轻人来我们加入我们的协会啊，因为我们这里是一个非常开放的。OK，sorry， I want to try in English. OK，because our council is an open platform. We want to attract a lot of youth to come, and in the past years, we hold a lot of activities to training the Africa students to give them the skills. We have a lot of online and classes, and you know, in Hunan, in Changsha, a lot of overseas students, because we have a lot of universities located in Hunan, maybe about 25 universities in Hunan. In each university, almost have 100 overseas students. So they have the opportunities to join us our activities. In the second Chinese Africa Economic Trade Expo, we also hold China Africa Youth Forum because a lot of Africa youth want to know China, want to get the knowledge of China, and want to do business with China. So we should, in the university, we give them the knowledge. In our council, we give them the professional skills. And we can give them a lot of kinds of skills, just like language skills and do machine control skills. For me, I'm a Chinese teacher in Egypt and Sudan for 5 years. At that time, I'm a Confucius Institution teacher. A lot of students, Africa students, love China and love to learn the Chinese language. And we also hope for more and more Africa students can come to Hunan and can come to our council to join our classes and join the activities we hold in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Wang, for the answer.
Yeah.
I believe it's clear. And well, there is someone who is asking whether the PPT will be available. Your PPT, your presentation, will it be available?
Yeah, my presentation. Yes, is available.
Can it be shared with the audience?
Oh, sure. Okay. Just a moment. I'll share my PowerPoint. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Send.
喂，
Okay.
Why?
可以微信发给我吗？这样我可以转发给大本。
Okay, 我已经 I have already sent to the chat chamber.
好吧。
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wang. Another question is from Hassan. He's asking, is it allowed by the Chinese government for students to get involved in business, especially in import-export? Can it be translated?
Okay.
他的问题就是，国家政府是否允许就是学生从事出口还有进口的这个业务？
Oh, okay. I think the policy of the China is not limited about the students to business about the import and export business. They just need to follow the Chinese laws and Chinese policies. And in Guangzhou and in Shanghai, in Beijing, the big cities in China, a lot of Africa businessmen do business. Just follow the local laws is okay.
Okay, I think that's so clear. Thank you, Dr. Wang. I will, the next question will be by, I see two hands, Gerald and Mahama. Gerald, can we begin with you? Are you here with us?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Wang.
Hello.
I do have, based on the PPT you presented, I do have the following query. The Hunan Incubation Center or the Hunan province, does it have is there an established link between it and the African incubation centers? Because if you're looking to scale up manufacturing or you're looking to tap into African innovation, for them to come into China. Mostly when you say you want to say for us to target companies which are either to fund them over 1 million yuan, those I believe some of them are startups. And these startups, you talked about the issue of the trade between China and African being barter trade, whereby you get what you do, you get products, it's like product by product. You exchange what African has, and China gives Africa what Chinese has, you exchange with what African have. So is there a link between the Hunan Center with the African Incubation Center? Because if we start that discussion from that point, then we'll be looking at how do we tap into the growing potential, because I believe the market which was there is a new market. And Africa, we are struggling with that level of unlocking the business potential, either in terms of limitation of scaling, limitation of production, limitation of machinery. If you're looking for agriculture and you say your key area is in agricultural transformation, and the biggest land in Africa or the largest population of Africa, we do agriculture. Is there a roadmap? Is there a framework mostly when it comes to mechanization or support of innovation within the African space that are dealing in mechanization, in agriculture, in agricultural industrialization? And the last part is, I believe most of us here are internet, and you connect with the Organization of African Doctors. So we have a big resource, intellectual resource. And you say that one of the things you're fast tracking is development and advancement of a database. So what mechanism are you using to source data from Africa, which is African driven, to drive African innovation? And if that is happening, what's the number, or are Africans themselves involved in that process? So that now we can become the designer, the architect of African solution in that space. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Dr. Wang, can it be translated first?
Yeah, translate first.
Okay.
所以他有大概2个问题。第一个是，因为你说你想连接到非洲的这些 incubators 呢，然后这些有些公司就是刚开始的这些创业公司，然后你讲 PPT 的过程中，你说到贸易的交换，然后主产品，然后非洲和河南的这些 incubators 是否有关系联系？第一，然后第二个就是我们希望就是解放业绩力，所以呢，我们可以拥有大量的资源。那你是否有用什么机制从非洲和这些参与其中的非洲人获得数据？怎么获得这些数据？然后你的这些湖南和非洲的那些国家的这些 incubators 有没有联系
？Okay. First, I want to answer the first question. Our council is settle the incubators to want to attract small business, small enterprises to do business with Africa. Because in the past time, a lot of big companies, big enterprises invest in Africa. They help the Africa to construct the bridge, construct the buildings, but their company, their invest can't take back the profit because in Africa they lack of dollars. They have a high debt. So we suggest we can have a barter trade. Now that barter trade is a new mode of barter trade, not things exchange things. If we construct a bridge, just like in Nigeria, the Nigeria have some more resource, some resource, just like agriculture resource and minor resource, and we can take them to China. And this is don't use the currency. They just use sense-to-sense exchange. So now that is a big problem. So now we just encourage the small business, small enterprises to settle their companies in our parallel zone. That is give the small businessman opportunities to do business with China. And our council actually is a bridge to connect the Africa and China. In the past years, we hold a lot of activities, just like Madagascar, agriculture, machinery, matchmaking activities, and the Benin agriculture matchmaking activities. We just let the Chinese companies know the opportunities in Africa, know the resource in Africa, and let the Africa businessman to know how to invest in China and know how to buy the agriculture machine in China. Okay, this is my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wang, for the answer. And to Gerald, have your questions been addressed? You can confirm in the chat box. And please, just a kind reminder that we keep our questions brief and concise for the sake of one, the translation, and also our guest speaker. And the next person is Mahama. Are you here with us? Mahama.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes. I think my brother almost addressed my concern. The presentation along the line mention of training the youth and the kind of technology transfer for future collaboration. My concern was largely if they had some collaboration with some institutions that can fish out the right crop of people that they will be training for the future. For instance, with OAD, I am of the view that if they are able to strike some kind of collaboration, they are able to identify the right crop of people that they can train or they can do the technology transfer with for them to impact and get the objectives achieved. I don't know if they already have some collaboration with other institutions such as OAD to achieve that result. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Translation, please.
Yes. 他说在你的演讲中，你提到的这些技术转让方面的培训，然后他建议，如果你们可以有一些合作，来选择最合适的人进行这些培训，比如说像这些 OAAD， 然后他说目前有没有这样的合作和其他机构或者团体一样，有没有别的？除了 OAAD， 有没有别的这样的呢？就是让你们选最合适的人来进行这些培训。
Okay, thank you. Except OAAD, we have a cooperation with other countries' institutions, just like in Egypt, we cooperate with the Ahram high-tech institution. And in Nigeria, we cooperate with the Nigerian University Research Institution. And in the Morocco, we cooperate with the Lamasis high-think policy institution. Because we think if we have more cooperation with these institutions, we can have find the problem and find the path to solve this problem. Our council is always focused on the cultivation about the training. We training not only the businessman, we also training the Africa youth. And if you have the priority want to cooperating with us, you can connect our council, and we think we can have a good cooperation in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wang, for the answer, and big thank you to our translator. You're doing a great job. The next question is from the chat box. Okay, just I think clarifying the PowerPoint that Dr. Wang shared is in the chat box. In case you have not seen it, please, you can go ahead and download it for yourself. And I think it would also be shared in the group, I believe. So the next question says, is from Casey. I hope I've read the name well. It says, how can we, the African students currently in other provinces in China, be part of this opportunity? And I would want to combine it with another question by Map Fields. It says, how do African companies find Chinese investors? Can the two be combined together? A translation, please.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
他第一个问题就是，在其他就是不在湖南省的这些人，他们可不可以参与这些机会？然后第二个就是非洲企业如何找到中国的投资者？
Okay. Our council is located in Hunan, but we not service just Hunan's enterprises. We serve the enterprises all around the China and the Chinese company and Africa companies. Chinese company want to invest in Africa. We give them the information about the Africa, and the Africa want to buy some things, just like agriculture machine, the truck, and we also give them the information about Chinese companies, because our council have the 149 memberships. Our memberships include Sanyi, Sunworld, and these companies have do big business in Africa. And I think maybe you know them. If you are not in Hunan, we also welcome you to come our council, and we can give you more information if you want. And second question is how the Africa enterprises can invest in because in China, after the pandemic, a lot of Chinese company want to invest in Africa, but and the Africa people want to attract the invest. So they don't because this is they don't have the match information. So our council is give them a platform to match. So we have our website. If you want to find some information, you can search our internet. Because today we also have a guest, Howlot. He just last week she come to Hunan. Maybe she can talk, say something about her experience in Hunan. Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. Is that, do you want her to share her experience now?
Yeah, okay, very good. Because last time we actually we don't meet face to face, but I hear from my colleagues she have a good experience in Hunan.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. In fact, I'm Hulda, and actually I've been in Hunan, especially in Shaoyang. The city, last week, and it was a very amazing experience because I've been introduced to many factories. I've been introduced to about 7 big factories, including the factories that produce Nike shoes. I met 2 factories that produce human hair. I also met those who sell clothes, very good quality clothes, very big, intelligent suitcase, school bags, and I've been introduced to the leaders in charge of trade, China-Africa trade in those areas. And most importantly, I've been to Shandong. That is like that city alone produced 45% of the exports of Shaoyang, which produce more than 70% of the school bags in the world. Like in that city, every building is basically a factory, and people are so kind. Those business people were so kind, so welcoming, and you can feel that they are eager to collaborate with Africans. They really, really want to collaborate with Africans, but I think the only thing they lack is lack of knowledge. African business people do not know that city. Because for me, it was the first time I've been told about that city, and I went there. And what I saw was really amazing. It was it's like a big manufacturing sector, like every building. I was wondering where people live because everywhere is a factory. So it is very interesting for us. It is a big opportunity for us as Africans in China to get involved in this opportunity that we are having, to get into contact directly with those factories instead of trying to buy online. It is an opportunity. So I will invite everybody. If you have the opportunity, you can go to that city. It is called Shaoyang. It is not far from Changsha. It is still in the Hunan, and there are just most of them are factories, no middleman or all those things, and the prices are very cheap, and you can have any quality you want, any quantity you want, whenever you want and wherever you want it. So this opportunity today to have this webinar is also an opportunity for us to share this opportunity with you, because you have the director here, so you can ask the questions you want to know about the position of Hunan in the China-Africa trade to him directly and get to know that city. So this is what I want to share with you. I really invite you to visit that city, visit Hunan. People are very kind, the food are delicious, and everything is just perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome to come to Changsha again. Welcome to you to come to Hunan. Welcome everybody to come to Hunan.
Thank you, sister, for sharing your experience. You eat the food alone. Okay, so Dr. Wang, There is a question. No, there is a request to share the contact, like the website you talked about. Will that be okay for you to type it in the chat box later on?
Okay, just a minute. Find our website and I type in the chat back.
Okay. Meanwhile, can I read the next question?
Okay.
Our hands have been out for long. Can we be called? Yes.
Just one more question before we'll call here, please. That is okay with you?
Oh, sorry. This.
The next question is from EK. He says, thanks for the presentation. Is it only possible for students who are graduating this current year? Please, how much does it cost to open the company with your incubator in Hunan? Does it include the visa and how long? Thanks. Can you help with the translation?
Yes. 他首先想感谢你的这次演讲，然后他的问题就是，今年毕业的学生他们也可以参加嘛？然后如果要在湖南开一个的这个工厂，需要多少钱？然后它包括工作签证嘛？然后如果包括的话，要给多长时间的？
Oh, okay. If you graduate from China's university and you get a degree and you can get the working permission and maybe the first year the place just give 1 year and after you work more than 3 years maybe give you a long working permissions. Yeah, this is what I know about the working visa.
他还有一个就是还没毕业的呢，比如说
，Oh yeah，
大三、大二、大一。
Yeah, because about the policy, if you are not graduate, you can't opening the company in China. But you can do some small business, just like the online business. You can open your online shop in Taobao and Tmall. I think maybe you don't hear the Taobao, but in the Africa, you think the Alibaba, you know Ma Yun, yeah. In Kenya, you know the Kilimall, and in the Nigeria, we have the Jumia, just like this.
他的第二个问题是，开一个工厂的最低金额是多少？然后会不会给工作签证？
开一个工厂，OK，because open factory, different city have different policies. Because in Changsha, maybe you should have 100,000 RMB. You should have the building. You should have the site, and you should give your staffs insurance. Maybe 100,000. And if you invest, you can have the working visa. If you have the investor, you can have the working visa. But in our incubator, you don't invest that kind of money, because in our incubator we have already some graduate Africa students to open his small working office in our incubator. They just rent one house and some more desks and some more sofas which opens to the online business. That don't need a lot of money. Maybe 10,000 is enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, Sam, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here, please. If you can hear me.
Go ahead. Yes, please.
Thank you. I have about 2 or 3 questions. But my first one goes to the first speaker, the one who gave the welcome message, who was addressed as the president. I don't know, I think he's the president of OOD.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is the first time some of us are hearing about such a group or such a platform that facilitates the relation between Africans and then Chinese in terms of investment and other ideas that can be brought online. So I want to know, how can some of us who have just come into know of this platform, how can we join and where can we be part of that organization? 2 goes to Mr. Wang Yi. In his submission, he mentioned of the African and the Chinese in terms of markets and then the import and exports. One thing I've realized is that it's very difficult. It's easy to export things from China to Africa continent. However, the reverse is very difficult, to get African products or produce onto the Chinese market, because most of the times Chinese imports have been government to government. Example, soybean, they import a lot from the US, but it's like bilateral, country to country. So how can individuals like us who have just opened a company or have the intention to open a company where we want to engage in import and export, how can we get access to the Chinese market to bring in African products? And what are some of the products you think as young African or young entrepreneurs from African continents can tap in that will be able to have market here in China? And how can his incubation facilitate that for us to get buyers onto the Chinese market? And then how can we also have access to the incubation? How can we join, as far as those of us who are in other cities? I'm in Guangzhou currently. How can we be part of that? And for them to assist us in terms of importing things from Africa to this very country, because it's very difficult. While the other way, it's very easy. And then the last one has to be the recording. I think it's already been said that it should be shared onto the YouTube. If we can get more details about it, how to get onto that and how to have access to the recording so that we can reference it whenever we need.
Okay, thank you for the question. Dr. Elijah, can you address the first and last question, and then Dr. Wang will handle the middle one?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, our brother Sam. Was the question about that? OAD has been around for quite some time, and we take a lot of pleasure in making it possible for our African community, both here, for those in China or those outside of China, or wherever they may be. It's our huge pleasure to be able to, make it possible for them to have access to these opportunities that are available for everyone. But of course, not everybody is able to access it the way it should be. So hopefully we'll keep doing this into the far future. And of course, there are so many things which hopefully, if you're able to join us, as you've expressed interest, we'll be able to guide you. So OAD, those who join as members need to be PhD holders, or PhD students. So I don't know, are you a PhD holder or PhD student at the moment?
I graduated, I finished my second master's 2020 here in China. So I'm currently not a PhD student. I just opened my own company recently.
Okay. We have an arm for master degree holders and master degree students as well, which we call OAD Masters Grooming Initiative. So we'll invite you to that place, and subsequently also that's on WeChat. Subsequently, we will also provide opportunity for you to be able to be registered on our main database on the website. But for now, since you haven't started a PhD, we are working out ways to make it possible for non-PhD holders and PhD students to see how they can link up also at that official, extra official platform through the website and the database. But on the whole, okay, Gideon, please, you may send your WeChat contact so that he can connect with you. Gideon is the assistant coordinator of the OMG, that's the OAD Masters Grooming Initiative. Please, Gideon, you may send him your contact right here on the group so he can link up with you. That's it for that, how you will to join. And of course, as you already confirmed, the recording will be available on our YouTube channel, and we hope to link up more with you and work towards doing other things in that regard. Thank you very much. I think I'm done with my own part.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Even though I have a concern, but it's okay. We'll talk behind. Thank you. I have a concern with regards to the grouping PhD and non-PhD. That's a bit problematic, to be honest.
No problems. Yeah. We'll respond to those.
Sure. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Elijah.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome.
The other question, please, we'll need a translation before Dr. Wang can come in.
他的第二个问题就是你提到了非洲和中国的市场，那他说从中国的产品很容易运到国外，但是非洲产品很难运到中国，那就是因为中国的大部分的进口都是双边的，是政府对政府而不是个人。那个人如何进入中国市场引进产品？一、二，什么样的产品会在这里销售？然后你们的这些 incubators 怎么就是帮助这些个人在这里进口和销售
？Okay. Just you mentioned the Chinese products can easily export to Africa, but the Africa products cannot easily come to China. I think that is a big problem because that includes the custom duty. Yeah, because in Africa there is a kind of agriculture products, cashew, in Guinea, in Senegal, in Guinea-Bissau, a lot of cashew, but they cannot import to China directly because the Africa and the China have the Africa continent and the China don't have the customer duty agreement. We only have one country have the duty agreement with us. That is Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. So there is just like this cashew must shipping to Vietnam and then shipping from Vietnam to China. But if we say the cashew, that is protection area. Protection area is Vietnam, not Africa. But actually, that cashew is come from Guinea-Bissau. So this is a big problem because the custom duty. Secondly, you say some products import and export is country to country. But I think actually in the reality, a lot of Chinese small businessmen takes a bag, take some clothes and take some daily products to China, to Africa to sell, to open the supermarket. And a lot of Africa businessmen also come to China. They go where? They go to the Chinese ground market, because in Zhejiang province, Zhejiang is also a province of China. There is a very big daily products market named Yiwu, and maybe about 10,000 African people there, just like in Guangzhou. They also do some small business. They take to Africa. So this is Africa is a big market. We cherish this opportunity. And another problem is visa problem. Visa problems. Chinese people. Some Africa country give the Chinese people the arriving visa. But some Africa country don't have the. You should go to the embassy and to have the permission of the visa. Also, Africa people have the very difficult to get the Chinese visa. So our provincial government give the because in Changsha we hold the China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo. So in that area, we in that period, we give the Africa businessmen and some good policies. In Huanghua Airport, we give them 144 transit visa. That is a good opportunity for the Africa businessman to come to China, and that is maybe 5 days. 5 days. That's I think that's enough. Okay, thank you.
它还有一个就是这些个人或者小产业企业，他们怎么能进入这个中国的市场？然后你们提供的这些 incubators 怎么能帮助他们进入市场，以及怎么销售
？Okay. I think small businessmen also have the very good quality products. You know, in Madagascar, they have very good world-class vanilla, but they can't sell them in China directly. But last month, Madagascar businessman come to our incubator, and we give him a working space and give him a channel in Chinese TikTok. You know, in China, the TikTok not named TikTok is Douyin. Douyin, and in that we give him a platform to show his vanilla. But at one night, just about 2 hours, he sell 10,000 vanilla. Just one night, 2 hours. 1 night, 2 hours. So if the small businessman want to sell products in China, we can give him a platform and give him the information about the Chinese company who needs the products of Africa, who needs the products of the good quality products. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Wang. In the in the interest of time, we may not have any further questions. So, and also some of the
Sorry to
questions are
interrupt
quite
you, my dear. Sorry to interrupt you. I think we tried the website that he gave, yakita.net.cn, but apparently it's not working for some of us. And then like one of my questions, what was embedded in the question I asked was, how can we get in touch with him or the incubation that he talked about? But in the network, the website he gave, it's not working for some of us. So if he can address it and possibly how we can get in touch, that would be grateful. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, because I tapped the wrong character. That is CAETP, P, not R, because I tapped quickly. CAETP 点.net.cn。
啊，你可以再写一遍吗？
OK。
然后他还问，就是怎么才能，就是和你，就是怎么联系到你，除了你发的链接，还有别的方式吗？
OK， CATP。Okay, because I'm invited by the Hauda. If you want, because she is now working in China. If you someone want to come to our council, you can connect with Hauda, and Hauda will give you our council's address and our information about our council.
Okay.
链接发到聊天框吗？他们还在说还没收到。
Already? Oh, because I say to the Michael, I say to everyone. Yeah. Sorry. There you go. Okay. All the people say.
Okay, it's here for everyone now.
Yeah.
Dr. Wang, any final words?
Yeah.
That was your final words?
Oh, my final words. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'm very glad to have a great night with all of the audience. Maybe because in China it's night, maybe in other continent that is in the morning. But I think in my presentation, I talk about our council and what we do and what we will do in the future. I think China and Africa have good opportunities to work together and collaborations. So in the future, if you want to set your own companies in China, you can connect with us, and maybe you can connect with Hauda. And if you have any questions and any problems in the future, you also can connect with us. We want to give a good national platform for everybody. And welcome to China. Welcome to Hunan, and where I think we hope every Africa businessman can search your own opportunities in China. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wang. Just, I think there's one pressing question before you go. Okay. From Mapfields.
Yeah.
Mapfields, are you here?
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Wang.
Yeah.
Please make it brief.
Yes, I'm going to make it very brief. Thank you so much for your presentation, and I appreciate for sharing all the information. And I will be making it a point to come and visit you. And one of the questions that I have is in relation to the agricultural products. We have some African companies or farmers that would like to bring their products to China, but they have the difficulty in understanding the Chinese requirements to import the products. as well as with regards to the language, as well as other requirements that they're not able to meet. So I'm looking for investors as well, particularly Chinese investors in their like agricultural equipment that they would like to do to add value to their products that they have. Does your company like provide assistance for those kind of farmers? And we also realize that when the products come here, sorry, I'm trying to make it as fast as possible, but when some of their products reach here, for example, Kenyan avocados, they get lost in the market. So they don't actually reach a wide range of consumers because of the branding and promotion that they're not given as products that are coming from Africa. So does your organization provide assistance for those kind of farmers in terms of marketing their products and promoting them in China? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Mapfield, where are you from?
I'm from South Africa, but I'm based in Guangdong province.
Yeah. Okay. Because just now you mentioned the avocado. Avocado is a good product in Africa. Last year, the Shanghai companies import a lot of avocado from the Kenya, and you mentioned the agriculture products in the first Chinese Africa economic expo and the second Chinese Africa economic and trade expo. We recommend the Africa coffee and Africa sesame and Africa just like other good products. So that is how to find the opportunities in China, because we want to attract more and more Africa business man can come to China to participate our expo. And secondly, maybe you can use the internet ways to promote your agriculture products, because you know, a lot of people, Chinese people, don't know the Africa. They have the good products, because that is promotion is not done. So maybe we can give a bridge to sites and to that more people know Africa agriculture products. Thank you.
还有一个问题，就是这些农民想把他们的产品带到中国，但是有语言的障碍、语言问题，还有大部分的他们不了解中国的这些政策，对这些产品，所以你们在这个方面可不可以帮助这些农民那个语言方面和政策了解方面
？Okay. Firstly, about the language, we also have the in the last year and in the past time, our council hold some more language training class for the local people to training them more basic Chinese languages, because you know, Chinese language is also very difficult to learn. But for business, maybe we'll give the 3 months. That's enough. We can learn the basic business. And if they come to China, and we can give their platform to sell their products. Because in our parallel zone, we have a export permanent pavilion, and we have the 54 national pavilion, and in each pavilion, they show their country's good products. And about the policy, we can give them the policy they need, because we have the 10 10 centers. We can give them more comprehensive assistance. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Wang. Thank you for the time, and thank you for being a blessing in this platform. Ladies and gentlemen, please, our meeting is coming to a close. But before we go, we'll have a photo. So please don't go. We'll take a photo. The issue with the site will be, I think, corrected. Some people are saying it's accessible, some are saying it's not accessible. So for any more inquiries, please contact Sister Holder. She will be able to guide you through. And for the closing remarks, please allow me to invite Dr. Kojo. Dr. Kojo, are you here? And it's been a blessing.
Yes,
having
I'm
you
here
today. Over to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, and good afternoon to you all from Ghana. So I would like to use this opportunity to appreciate our ESCO, the organizers, the MC, and to you all the participants making it for this section. I think we need more. You will get to know that we are in the year area implementation, and globally, all countries are going through some sort of recessions, and trade is one of the potent tools to help reset our economies. And so these kind of discussions and this kind of engagement, we need more of it, so that those of us who are in the trade, who are in industry, and also double up as also in academia, will be able to export opportunities and leverage on them. We also like to use the opportunity to invite you all, especially members of OAD, that our organization does not only exist for only research collaborations and partnerships. We also exist to promote businesses and also promote implementation of innovations, not just for you to innovate, but how to be able to actualize these innovations to solve real societal problems. And so I'd like to use this opportunity to invite you all to connect with us, and let's see how best we could be able to collaborate, partner, to be able to actualize our innovations to help doctor solutions to the many challenges that confront our continent, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. Africa needs us, and you and I, just like our president said, in the next few years, most of us are going to be in political positions, are going to be in influential positions in various sectors of our economy. And how we prepare ourselves today will determine how efficient and how productive and relevant we be to the cause of our continent and the development of our communities. So I'd like to use the opportunity to thank you all, and thanks everyone for your participation. I think I'll hand over back to the MCs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kojo, for those remarks. Please, helping us with taking the photos. And a big thank you to our translator. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please, you do open your cameras if you're in position, if you're in a place that you can open your camera. Please do open your cameras. Oh, beginning with mine. Okay.
All right. Yeah, so once the cameras are open, we can capture with ease. It's a beautiful thing to see us. And I'm excited that many people are adding weight. Yeah, Jacob has added some weight. The last time I saw him, he was very much slim. Yeah. So, yeah, yes, there's progress. Okay, so more people can open their cameras if possible. and we will just capture. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gerald, happy to see you. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So I'm going to take this capture and we will move to the next page. So, oh, very beautiful. Just a few more to go. If they are able to get on. Abimbola, are you able to come on? Beautiful. You just landed as if. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is a good one. And I'm going to just capture. Okay. This has been captured. Adil, maybe you could look this way. Adil, you may look this way so I can capture. All right, yeah, Kojo, thank you for opening up, capturing again. Great, 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 great. Yes, I'm going to the next page now. So please just a moment, keep your smiles. And I'm going to capture that right now. All right, this taken. And the last page we are grabbing it. Okay, and that takes us to the end of the capture. And thank you once again for getting on board and linking up with us. So please looking forward to your joining our next conversation. Let me just give us a little leak before I hand over back to the, let me stop recording also. Because